Chapter 1. Introduction to the Valley. Nestled in a remote valley, a maximum security prison rises like a fortress, its imposing walls a stark reminder of the past. However, within these concrete confines lies a beacon of hope, a facility transformed by the belief in rehabilitation over mere punishment. Behind Bars, Chronicles of Redemption invites you to step inside this complex world through the voices of its inhabitants. This documentary unfolds like an immersive audiobook diary, where each inmate shares their unique perspective on navigating life behind bars. As we delve into their stories, we will explore themes of despair, redemption, and the relentless search for identity in an unforgiving environment. Each narrative offers a glimpse into the humanity that persists amidst the harsh reality of prison life, where friendships flourish, talents emerge, and the possibility of change ignites a flicker of hope. Here, in the heart of the valley, transformation is not just a dream, it's a journey. Chapter 2. Marcus the Porous, The Weight of Words. Marcus the Poet Harris sits on the edge of his bunk, the cold steel frame grounding him in a reality he once sought to escape. Once a gang leader, he now grapples with the weight of his past, finding solace in the rhythm of words. As he reflects on his first days in prison, anger and regret swirl within him, dictating the narrative of his life. The harsh clanging of cell doors echoes his internal struggle, a stark reminder of choices made that led him here. Yet in the depths of despair, poetry becomes his lifeline. Each verse serves as a cathartic release, allowing him to channel his pain, dreams, and profound yearning for redemption. Through his hauntingly beautiful words, listeners find the raw emotions that define his journey, revealing that even in darkness, light can emerge when one dares to share their story. Chapter 3. Tina the Healer. Healing Through Help. Tina the Healer Johnson sits in her bunk, reflecting on the life that led her to this maximum security prison. Once a dedicated nurse, she fell into the grip of addiction, while desperately trying to medicate her trauma from a turbulent past. Now behind bars, Tina has transformed her pain into purpose, becoming an unofficial counselor for her fellow inmates. As she navigates her own journey of recovery, she provides solace and wisdom to others, helping them confront their struggles. With each story shared during their conversations, Tina finds herself wrestling with her own emotions, guilt, regret, and a yearning for redemption. Despite the grim surroundings, she discovers the healing power of empathy and connection, illustrating that even amid adversity, the fragility of humanity can foster hope. Through her selfless acts, Tina embodies the resilience of the human spirit, highlighting the profound impact of compassion within prison walls. Chapter 4. The Dreamer Lopez, Hacking for Justice. James the Dreamer Lopez reflects on the path that led him to maximum security prison. Once a bright tech enthusiast, James believed he could change the world by exposing corporate corruption through his hacking skills. His heart was in the right place, driven by a desire to fight for justice. However, the thrill of hacking turned into a nightmare when he was arrested and faced the consequences of his actions. Behind bars, James grapples with guilt, questioning whether his noble intentions justified the means. He often shares his story in group therapy, sparking discussions about ethics, justice, and morality. As he listens to his fellow inmates' experiences, James realizes that even good intentions can have dire repercussions. Through these conversations, he slowly begins to understand the complex nature of justice and the importance of accountability in his quest for redemption. Chapter 5. Of a Mother's Sacrifice. Evelyn Smith's journey began long before her arrival at the prison gates. A dedicated single mother, she found herself entwined in a world of desperation after losing her job. The mounting bills and the haunting fear of her children going hungry pushed her to commit robbery, a choice made from love, yet one that led her to an uncertain future. As she navigates the rigid prison corridors, Evelyn reflects on the societal neglect that exacerbated her struggles. Each day she grapples with the guilt of her actions, while fiercely clinging to the hope of a better life for her kids. In candid conversations with her fellow inmates, she shares the emotional burden of motherhood and the sacrifices that come with it. Through her resilience, Evelyn embodies the fight against systemic poverty, igniting discussions of hope and the profound need for change beyond prison walls. Chapter 6, Perspectives on Redemption, Group Therapy Sessions. In the dimly lit group therapy room, inmates gather in a circle, the air thick with vulnerability and shared experiences. Led by a compassionate counselor, each participant finds their voice, sharing stories of regret and hope. Marcus, reflecting on his poetry, notes how words have become his lifeline, while Tina speaks passionately about her role in guiding others through their pain. James grapples with guilt, acknowledging the unintended consequences of his actions as he explores the notion of justice versus morality. Evelyn's eyes glisten with tears as she recalls her sacrifices for her children, emphasizing the feeling of hopelessness that drove her to crime. As each inmate opens up, a powerful sense of community forms, allowing for honest discussions about the barriers to forgiveness. Through these moments of connection, they begin to understand that redemption is not a solitary journey, but a shared path, forged in the depths of their struggles and triumphs together. Chapter 7, Friendship Behind Bars, Bonds Among Inmates. In the unforgiving environment of maximum security prison, true friendships emerge unexpectedly. Marcus, Tina, James, and Evelyn recount the connections they've forged, each narrative highlighting the tapestry of support that weaves through their days. While the clang of cell doors signals isolation, the shared laughter and whispered conversations create a sense of belonging. Marcus shares how his poetry groups foster an unlikely brotherhood, where vulnerability opens doors to camaraderie. Tina's compassionate nature brings her close to other inmates, reassuring them they are not alone in their struggles. James, once a lone wolf, discovers the strength found in collaboration, uniting his ideas with others during tech workshops. Meanwhile, Evelyn reflects on how the bonds formed over shared sacrifices help ease the burdens of motherhood and survival. Ultimately, these friendships bloom amidst adversity, illuminating the human capacity for connection, reminding them all that even in darkness, they are not alone. Chapter 8, Crafting Identity, Discovering Talents. In the heart of the prison, the clinking of paintbrushes against canvases and the strumming of guitars reverberate through the walls, transforming the harsh environment into a sanctuary of creativity. The rehabilitation programs serve as a lifeline for inmates seeking to redefine their identities. Marcus, once a feared gang leader, pours his angst into poetry, weaving verses that convey both his past and aspirations. Meanwhile, Tina picks up a brush, expressing her healing journey through vibrant landscapes that mirror her hopes for the future. James, with a newfound passion, develops skills in coding and is teaching fellow inmates tech basics, pointing out the importance of knowledge as a tool for change. Evelyn discovers her voice through singing, channeling her struggles into heartfelt ballads. Together, they illustrate how creativity can illuminate paths to self-discovery, offering each of them a renewed sense of purpose amid the shadows of confinement. Chapter 9, Confronting Injustice, Systemic Reflections. In the dimly lit group therapy room, the silence is thick with shared pain and unease. As the inmates gather, a sense of solidarity forms, allowing them to voice their frustrations about the criminal justice system. Marcus starts, recounting how socioeconomic factors pushed him into gang life, echoing sentiments of disenfranchisement. Tina shares her struggle with addiction, pointing out the lack of support systems for individuals like her. James reflects on his naive belief in justice, realizing too late that the law often protects the powerful while punishing the vulnerable. Evelyn bravely confronts the systemic neglect of single mothers, articulating the desperate choices she made for her children. Each story unveils a harsh reality, linking their personal experiences to larger societal failures. Together, they dissect these injustices, fostering a critical dialogue that both challenges the system and empowers them on their path toward redemption. Chapter 10, The Hope of Tomorrow, Dreams and Aspirations. In the dim light of their shared cell, Marcus, Tina, James, and Evelyn gather for a moment of candid reflection on dreams that await them beyond these prison walls. Marcus speaks first, his voice filled with conviction, revealing plans to publish a collection of his poetry to inspire others. Tina, with tears in her eyes, shares her desire to return to nursing, vowing to use her experiences to advocate for at-risk communities. James, the tech whiz, envisions building a nonprofit that helps youth channel their skills for social justice, hoping to prevent others from taking the same wrong path he did. Finally, Evelyn expresses her determination to find stable work and create a better future for her children, emphasizing the importance of breaking the cycle of poverty. Their visions intermingle, creating a palpable sense of hope as they realize that even from behind bars, they can shape narratives of redemption and resilience. Chapter 11. Personal Struggles, Conflict and Setbacks. As the days pass in the prison, the facade of strength worn by Marcus, Tina, James, and Evelyn begins to falter. Each inmate faces personal demons that threaten their resolve to change. Marcus wrestles with episodes of anger, his poetry often reflecting his spiraling emotions. He contemplates whether he can truly redefine himself beyond his past. Tina, while helping others, fights her own battles against anxiety and guilt, often haunted by the mistakes that led her here. James faces a crisis of conscience, questioning the justice of his actions. Did his hacking truly serve a noble cause, or did it exacerbate societal woes? Meanwhile, Evelyn's determination wavers under the weight of missing her children, the pangs of guilt overshadowing her hopes. Together, they navigate these conflicts, leaning on one another as a lifeline, reminding themselves that setbacks are not failures, but part of their journey toward redemption. Chapter 12. Triumph in Art, The Path to the Talent Show. As the date of the talent show approached, anticipation buzzed within the prison walls. Inmates gathered in the common room, transforming it into a vibrant rehearsal space. Marcus crafted heartfelt poetry readings, his words flowing like a cathartic release. Tina, channeling her healing spirit, organized group performances, blending music with narratives of resilience. James set up a makeshift tech station, creating a multimedia presentation that showcased their individual stories, while Evelyn choreographed a dance that captured both struggle and triumph. Nervous excitement filled the air as they rehearsed, laughter echoing through the halls, momentarily drowning out the weight of their sentences. Each practice session became a journey of discovery, newfound friendships solidified through shared creativity. In these moments, they recognized the transformative power of art, serving as a bridge between their pasts and the hopeful futures they envisioned. They were not just inmates, they were artists, creators, and ultimately dreamers, ready to shine. Chapter 13. The Night of the Talent Show, a celebration of redemption. The atmosphere inside the prison gym buzzes with palpable excitement as inmates, counselors, and family members gather for the talent show. The lights dim, casting a gentle glow over the makeshift stage. Marcus, clutching his poetry notebook, takes a deep breath before stepping into the spotlight, his words resonating with pain and hope, captivating the audience. Tina follows, sharing her heartfelt journey of healing through song, uplifting spirits and bringing tears to many eyes. James showcases a tech-inspired multimedia presentation, blending music and visuals that challenge perceptions of justice. Finally, Evelyn takes the stage, telling a poignant story of love and sacrifice through a powerful spoken-word piece. The audience erupts into applause, not just for the performances, but for the vulnerability and courage displayed. In that moment, the lines between past and present blur, as each inmate finds a voice and a sense of belonging, celebrating the potential for redemption in their shared humanity.